This video is brought to you by audible.com. What's up everyone, this is Victor for PhoneArena and we're excited to bring you the HTC One review. Saying that the HTC One is an important handset for HTC would be an understatement. The device is crucial to the company that just a year and a half ago passed for one of the biggest Android success stories, but is now struggling to squeeze out profits. The One name is not coincidental. HTC is hoping this device to be the one to really change the tide for it, and the company has put its best effort in it, refining the design to near perfection. To make that device, HTC has focused on key areas: design, screen, sound and camera. The HTC One brings the best out of HTC's industrial design legacy. Clad in a beautiful aluminum body, it comes with a 4.7-inch bright and vivid display and an impressively loud and clear front stereo speaker setup. Lastly, HTC took a huge risk with its new UltraPixel camera, going against the market trend of more megapixels and instead using just a 4.3 megapixel sensor, allowing for very large pixels and a wide aperture for superior low light performance. On paper, this looks like a killer combination, but now, at last, the final device is in our hands and we're ready to put all of HTC's ambitious new features and claims to the test. Let's go. In the world of plastic Androids, the HTC One stands out. It's different, a gorgeous looking slender device with chamfered edges and a slightly curved back that lays in the hand almost organically. It's extremely ergonomical and even though it's a big phone, it is comfortable to hold and operate. Thickness comes at 9.3mm and it weighs a well-balanced 5 ounces. The HTC One has a body made out of aluminum, front and back aluminum plates, and you can choose between silver and black colors with two tiny stripes of white plastic on the back, allowing for a better signal. This device comes with a new button layout and instead of the standard 3 capacitive buttons you only get 2 and an HTC logo in the middle instead of the third one. What's missing is the multitasking button, which you now access by double tapping the home key. Long holding the same home key fires up Google Now. This new layout is a bit strange and having the back button on the left makes it a bit of a stretch to reach. You get used to it over time, but it doesn't feel like the perfect setup. The physical buttons are large and comfortable to press. The volume rocker is on the side and the lock key is located on top, and it also is an IR blaster. Its top location is a bit of a stretch for the finger and we would have preferred to have it on the side, but it's a compromise made so you can use the One as a remote control for your TV. We got used to its position fairly quickly. On the bottom there is a micro USB port that doubles as an MHL1. Finally, on the back in the top central part there is the large eye of the UltraPixel camera. Now let us say a few words about our sponsor, audible.com. Audible is a leading audiobook service with a catalog of over 100,000 hit titles like The Hunger Games or 50 Shades of Grey, just to name a few. What's more, if you go to audiblepodcast.com/PhoneArena, you'll be able to download one free audiobook and listen to it anytime on any device. So if you want to get started with this beautiful service, just head over to audiblepodcast.com/PhoneArena. HTC is known for making some of the best screens out there. Last year's HTC One X set a gold standard for screens in Android land with a bright and vivid 720p display, and this year the bar was set high. With the HTC One, we can safely say that the company meets the expectations. The device features a 4.7-inch Super LCD 3 display with a resolution of 1080 by 920 pixels. The screen is extremely detailed, sharp, and for the tech geeks, pixel density comes at the whopping 468 ppi. Colors are stunning, they just pop out at you with deep blacks, vivid reds and blues and a great contrast. Viewing angles are also amazing. If we had to pick the nits, we'd mention that the HTC has toned down the maximum brightness a bit and the One screen is slightly dimmer than, say, the iPhone 5. The HTC One comes with Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean with the brand new Sense 5.0 skin. HTC skin is leaner and meaner than before, and it just flies on the quad-core Snapdragon 600 chip. Firing it up, you're instantly taken into the new Blink feed. A tile-based news and social update aggregator, Blink Feed is set as your default home panel. We like the overall functionality. You can set up Blink Feed to reach your Twitter account, Facebook, or check out news, and it's a well-done app that looks a bit like Sony's Timescape. But luckily you can disable it or just use a normal, more traditional Android home screen. Among the other big Sense 5.0 news is a completely reworked time and weather widget. Simpler, modern, and that's the overall direction HTC has taken on with the new Sense. It's cleaner and has become a very nice and unobtrusive skin overall. The HTC One might look sleek on the outside, but it is a beast on the inside. Equipped with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 600 chip, it runs without a stutter. It features the new Cray 300 quad-core processor with the clock set at 1700 MHz. It has 2 gigs of RAM, and graphics are taken care of the Adreno 320 GPU. The HTC One comes in 2 versions depending on the memory. You can either get a 32GB model, of which around 26GB are available to the user, or a 64GB model. Those are serious memory capacities. That is plenty of storage space and justifies to some extent the lack of a microSD card memory expansion slot. One of the most touted features of the HTC One is its new UltraPixel camera. UltraPixel is a fancy name HTC made up for its 2-micron pixels that are larger than most other smartphones have. The camera sensor itself is a backside illuminated 4.3 megapixel one with a very wide f.2 aperture and LED flash allowing for plenty of light and superior low light performance. When it comes to the actual pictures, we were mostly happy with the results. Images turned out fairly sharp and dynamic range was good. Letting more light in brightens up the images, and on a cloudy day you can almost instantly tell the difference when you compare the pictures to what other smartphones capture. Colors are definitely a bit oversaturated, nothing too annoying but not natural either. The HTC One records 1080p videos with support for continuous autofocus, and there is HDR video as well. We noticed no skipped frames and the camera was quick to focus and stable. There is a 2-megapixel wide aperture front-facing camera that is great for video conferencing. The camera interface is courtesy of Sense 5.0 and it delivers a stunning amount of settings and tweaks. The most notable one is the Zoe feature that takes 1 second of video before you press the shutter and then another 3-second video after. You can pick any of the frames in the video as a still, so you don't miss a moment, and the video also remains there. It is a neat addition that adds life to your still photos. The HTC One comes with both HTC's homegrown browser and Google's Chrome out of the box. Both are exceptionally good browsers, but the one from HTC has the advantage of supporting Adobe Flash and is a very welcome addition. Say what you want about Flash, but for many it is a necessity, and we're glad HTC caters to those many. The browser also supports incognito mode, allows you to search for words on the page, and easily switch between desktop and mobile versions of websites. You can also save articles to read later, and even when you're offline, and that's plenty of functionality. Unsurprisingly, it all works buttery smooth. Pinching to zoom in and out and scrolling around is very snappy. With 4G LTE connectivity on board, you have little to worry about when it comes to the HTC One's download speeds, except for your monthly bill at the end of the month. The One comes with an IR blaster built into the lock key. It turns your phone into a sort of a smart TV remote. To use it, you fire up the pre-installed HTC TV app, where you can see program listings tailored to your cable provider. The app delivers an up-to-date list of what's on now, what's next, and you can also use it as a remote to switch between channels, turn volume up and down, and so on. And that's a neat functionality. The 2 front speakers on the HTC One are not just a decoration. We've been dreaming about good sound on a smartphone for a long while, but knowing about the limitations of a small device like a smartphone, companies seem to have given up. The HTC One changes that attitude towards sound drastically. The front stereo speakers deliver an amazing sound experience, and you don't need an expert to recognize the sound of this device among all other smartphones. The 2 speakers come with a built-in amplifier and rock out at 93 decibel loudness. But it is not just how loud the sound is. It has a depth and a rich overall sound profile that is impressive for a smartphone. We suppose part of that comes from Beats Audio software magic. The HTC One's brilliant 4.7-inch screen is its biggest asset when it comes to multimedia. The device's built-in media player chews through almost all file formats, with only DivX exit encoded files not supported. For that, we resorted to the MX player on the Play Store, but there is a plethora of media player choice. With a third-party player, the device easily digests 1080p files of all formats with no lag. The deep and rich sound comes as one huge advantage. The HTC One features a 2300 mAh battery that is supposed to get you through a single day of moderate use. The bright and big display though and the quad-core Snapdragon 600 processor are a bad combination for those craving battery longevity. In our hands-on experience, the phone has just enough juice to get you through the day. Sound coming from the top speaker grill, and it doubles as an earpiece, is loud and clear. On the other side of the line, our callers reported that call quality is the same, saying our voice was easily recognizable with its natural tones. The HTC One has dual microphones for noise cancellation, which works very well, isolating side noise on a busy street with little of that side noise getting in the way. HTC wanted a comeback, and it brought its best with the HTC One. It is a brilliant device in virtually every aspect. It has a great and vivid, extremely sharp 4.7-inch screen. The stereo front speaker brings a small revolution in smartphone sound that you'll appreciate instantly when you hear it. Performance is flawless on the new Snapdragon chip, and all of that comes in a beautiful aluminum body that nestles in the hand and fits there almost organically. HTC took a huge risk though with the HTC One UltraPixel camera, going against all trends for increasing megapixel count, though the results are not so bold. The camera shoots good but not great photos. The understandable lack of details might be a downer for some, and colors are slightly oversaturated. That's far from being a deal breaker though. It's just one area where HTC will have to put even more effort in the future. Right now, the HTC One is one of our favorite Android smartphones. Gorgeous, powerful. HTC has improved in all the right places and is ready for a fight. Samsung, it's your turn now. And guys, thanks for watching this video review. Head on to PhoneArena.com for a detailed look at the HTC One. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.